Well, I mean, you got to just be happy with wins and celebrate wins. And I thought we finally went small and found a way to string together a few possessions that separated us and made a couple of shots that separated us from I think a team that was probably a little bit hungrier than us and really well prepared and had some schemes for us to have to handle that maybe we weren't quite ready for. And really a lot of credit to Northern Arizona and Lori and the job that she's doing. And I think it'll be a really great learning lesson for us. We're not perfect. Not having Yo on the court, our best 3-point shooter is hard for us to it's a weapon that we don't have right now, and she'll be back soon. So I think we can get a little bit better from watching this film. So I'm excited about. You got to be happy a little bit with being challenged like this. I think you beat two D2 teams soundly, and you end up beating a team really bad in the second half, and you can't help but be a little bit thinking it's going to be easy maybe. And maybe we lost an edge a little bit, and Northern Arizona did not lose an edge. They were prepared for their first game of the season, and they played with a real hunger and passion. And I think this will be a really great lesson for us to learn.
Congrats on the win, obviously. Then you guys kind of started slow in the first 2 quarters. How do you think you guys can change and adapt for the next game so you come out starting a little quicker?
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of non-conference is I think they disrupted our timing in our offense, a little bit of pressure in the backcourt, and we just didn't execute well. So I think it's everything that we want to do. We'll get in the gym and we'll try to put that in place. We'll try to get our practice guys to do that to us so that we're having to go against that kind of just little feisty people that just make you work a little harder, bringing the ball up. We got to make ourselves uncomfortable in order to improve and get better. We got to find ways to get the ball inside when we have that advantage. And ultimately we have to shoot the ball better from the perimeter and even on inside. Because I think we're going to watch this film and see that we had a lot of great looks at the rim and they didn't go in. And the game looks a lot easier when the ball goes in the basket. It looks like it's beautiful and it feels bad right now. I'm not sure it'll be as bad as when I watch it, but I know there's a lot of things that we can do better to hopefully start games better.
So Northern Arizona was able to succeed a lot in their transitions. Why do you think that was?
Well, I think I think they kind of outworked us there. I think they pushed it up the floor. They caught us sleeping a few times in trans D, but I don't know that it was super. Again, they just put the pressure on us offensively and defensively. It wasn't. I don't think I look at that and go. I mean, we still guarded them pretty well. They scored 54 points. So I would say that this is a game that we can learn a lot from their conditioning and how hard they play, and really a credit to them. But it's also a game where we held them to 54 points, and this is about us figuring out how to be better on the offensive end.
So you also mentioned last game communication was a struggle. How do you think you guys did in that area this game?
I don't know that, again, I always look at that and say our execution wasn't great in the first half. So I don't know that it's there yet. Those are just things we're just going to have to continue to find ways to make ourselves, practice that. I think that a couple of days ago, we put music on in here and stayed away from them and made them go against the music and over communicate. Those are just weird things that I think we're going to have to keep trying to do. And along with some of the pressure that we saw tonight, I think we can amp that up a little bit. And the beautiful thing is our players are really hungry and passionate about getting better. And I don't think anyone's really satisfied with how we played. So I think we'll come back and be anxious to get better tomorrow.
My last question is, so Bella played very well with 15 rebounds, and she also had 5 blocks, but she had 5 fouls and she fouled out. How do you envision, if she has 4 fouls the next game, how do you envision using her so she doesn't foul out?
I got it.
Yeah.
Bella's going to have to manage her emotions. I think she felt like she got knocked around a little bit. and, you know, good players don't worry about officials. They just move on and they play the next play. And she's still growing in that. I think a lot of our players were bothered by some no calls. And that's maturity. That's growing up. That's playing through possessions and finding ways to be good at it. I think her mindset just needs to keep growing. She's capable of playing without fouling, but at the same time, I mean, she played 26 minutes and I thought she had a couple of bad fouls, you know, went late for a block or something like that. But I think emotionally she got a little out of whack today, and I think didn't play her best, just like the rest of our team. I don't put it more past her than anything, but she is definitely someone that we need on the court. Her presence, the fact that she can block shots. I've been really pleased with her development on the defensive end. So we got to find a way to get her there.
Eric Long, Daily Evergreen. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Coach. First of all, congrats on the win. In a game where you're not necessarily shooting the best like this, how important is the physicality of your bigs down low?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question, and that's we got to find some answers there, and I'm anxious to see what the film says. I thought there was a time we could have dropped it into Charlize. It's not just about Bella getting it on the block or Ula, but it's finding those mismatches. Tara can play with her back to the basket, but we've got to find opportunities for them to get into the paint without having to dribble it there, you know, to kind of catch it closer and create some plays there. And you know, I don't think we did that great tonight. And that may be things that we've just got to find ways to incorporate more in our offense. But the physicality of this little scrappy team is huge. If they were more physical than us, then we got to step back and evaluate, like being a little bit more chippy and a little bit more aggressive there. But I do think we're growing a little bit, Bella in particular, about carving out some space and trying to play physical, but it can definitely get better for sure.
And then staying on top of the topic of the bigs, Ula had a few times that you could see her get fired up on the court. How important is that energy that she brings to the team?
I agree. I mean, I just thought our whole team had a little less of energy than they did the last 3 games. And Ula's been so good all 3 of those games. And I thought she had a little bit of a dip today. I think Crystal had a little bit of a dip. I think Charlize had a little bit of a dip. And those are 3 cogs to in our system that again, a year ago, maybe we don't win if those 3 players aren't really, really good. So I think it's a credit to having more weapons on the floor and that maybe we can withstand, you know, people not being their best. But, you know, we talked to the team about it afterwards, like, can we all agree that there was a little less energy or maybe a little less urgency? Or if we can't agree with it, just self-reflect and really be self-aware, because if you weren't right, if it wasn't as good as it can be, then figure out how to get yourself there for the next game. And again, it's hard. It's hard to keep an urgency. It's hard to feel like someone's coming to rip your throat out after you've beaten people or you think you can win this one. You just can't think that way, and you can't train that way, and you can't do any part of that. So we got to find an edge and have an edge every single time the lights come on.
Any other questions?
And I got one last question. The first half, the shooting wasn't very good. It was a little bit sloppy. The second half, you came out and kind of pulled away a little bit. Was there any kind of adjustments you made during the halftime or anything that you saw that led to that?
You know, I really felt like it opened up a tiny bit when we went with the small lineup. And again, I think that's something that we need to train a little bit more without having Bella on the floor. Not that, I mean, Bella's a great presence and we certainly need to play around a big, her or Emma or Jessica Clark, who's coming back off an injury. So we need to be able to play around that. And I think we know how to do that. But when we went small and Bella came off and Ula was our 5, I'm not sure we're good enough at knowing how to play there, but that's when I think we got those 3s, and maybe we just had a little bit separation, better rhythm shot on those. The timing of the offense wasn't all, it just felt right to take those. But at the same time, you just think some of those shots are going to go in. If Charlie shoots it, you feel like they're going to go in at some point. And she made a couple. But I thought that small lineup helped us in that time where we kind of pulled away.